I'm Kerrie Sheaves. I'm the CEO of NFP Ocean, and I'm speaking with Sarah Paterson from Mission Without Borders. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Kerrie. Great to see you today.
You too. So tell us who you are and what your organisation does.
Yeah, I'm the National Director for Mission Without Borders. We're an international organisation that helps people in Eastern Europe who are marginalised and suffering from poverty. We journey with them towards self-sufficiency. So they have a limited time in our program with the aim that they'll be self-sufficient at the end.
So tell us a little bit about the core problem that your charity exists to solve, and why does it matter now?
Yeah, so we've been around for a long time, started back in the 60s, but in the 90s, when communism collapsed, it left a lot of countries really in a difficult situation economically. The economic system collapsed as well as the political system, and a lot of families were left without employment, and really suffering. So we work a lot with families who live in single room houses with no water, no bathroom or kitchen, and really struggling financially in some fairly rough areas, particularly weather-wise. It gets down to minus 20 degrees in winter, so it can be pretty tough.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I suppose we often don't realise that this is happening in various areas of the world, and we're very comfortable here in Australia in the warmth. I mean, we've certainly got issues here when it comes to homelessness and poverty and all sorts of social challenges, but we've also have the ability to potentially help those who are in countries that maybe we don't see in the news a lot, but are
Exactly.
forgotten.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about stories and the examples that are happening on the ground of the work that you guys are doing and that real impact that's happening for families and people and communities.
Yeah. So we work through the local community, and we don't have foreigners in there. We actually employ locals, and they will often connect with different families in the area that they know are struggling. I visited one family. It was a father with 7 children. He was a single dad. His wife had left. And as he was talking to us, he was just shaking, talking about how hard he was working just to get food on the table and not being able to meet his children's needs. His kids came in, they didn't have proper shoes. It was raining and cold, and there was no bathroom in the house. It was pretty difficult. But then I've seen families on the other end of the spectrum. There's one family who were in a similar situation. They couldn't feed their kids. But after being in the program for 7 years, not only were they becoming self-sufficient, their children were staying at school, not leaving early, and were able to get a proper education. They did so well that one of their kids actually got a scholarship into medicine and is topping his class at university in medicine. So when I met him, he was in 2nd year and doing really, really well. So it's exciting when you see them get to that point.
Yeah, that's really rewarding because, especially for young people, having a chance to access education is a huge enabler to open the doors to a completely different life for them and for their families, because they're often then contributing back into their families who are still struggling or still in education and trying to, make the ends meet. One of the things you and I talked about a little while ago was that, there are opportunities in Australia for organisations and for people who their home countries are the countries that you're actually supporting. What are some of those countries that you guys are doing your work in at the moment?
Yeah, so we work in 6 countries right now: Albania, Bulgaria, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Romania, Moldova, and Ukraine. So obviously Ukraine, the work is a little bit different. We're also working with internally displaced people, but we've been in Ukraine since the early 90s. So it's a place where we're well established before the war even started.
Yeah. And there's always been, a lot of civil unrest and huge changes happening in that region. So what are some of the meaningful ways that people and businesses potentially and other organisations can help your charity grow and have a much bigger impact on the ground?
So we do family sponsorship, where you can journey with a family for the 5 or 7 years that they're in the program. But we also have other projects on the side relating to education, helping kids to stay at school, or feeding the homeless on the street, soup kitchens, things like that. So any organisation is able to take on a project or get involved with journeying with a family if that's what they want to do. There's lots of different ways that people can connect to the different programs.
Fantastic. So if someone remembers just one thing from this interview about your charity, what would you want it to be?
That we journey with people long term, and that we are leading people to self-sufficiency, not just giving them a handout.
Well, thanks, Sarah. I'm encouraging people out there who are thinking about how do we get behind some charities doing some really amazing things at a global level, not just at a local level, to find out more about Mission Without Borders and reach out to Sarah and her team to find out how you can get involved. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Kerrie.